Hello and welcome to my course. My name is Shakil Khan and I am your instructor for this course. In this course, you will learn Tailwind CSS from scratch. Tailwind CSS is a utility-first CSS framework for building custom user interfaces unlike Bootstrap, because Bootstrap gives you free build components. Through Tailwind CSS, we create our own components. In this course, I have created different projects. So now let's take a look the projects. In this video, we are going to download VS Code and Node.js. In this course, I will use VS Code as my text editor. By the way, you can use any text editor. Now, to download VS Code, just type VS Code download. Now click on the first link. Just wait a moment. And now you have three options: download for Windows, Ubuntu, and Mac operating system. And I have already installed VS Code in my system. So you just need to download and install VS Code. Second, we have to download Node.js. So just go to nodejs.org. And don't worry, in this course we will not use the Node.js code. We just need npm And to install npm, first of all we have to install node.js. So node.js will automatically install npm. Understand? So just download the LTS version. I have already installed the node.js. Understand? So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video. In this video, we are going to install some VS Code extensions. The first extension I am going to install the Lio server extension. So just click on this icon and here search for Lio server. Basically this one I have already installed, and now I have test-app folder. Inside of this folder I have an index.html file. So inside of here I am going to right click. As you can see, I have open with Lio server option. So just click on this option, and here as you can see we have this local development server. Okay, now let's say inside of body I am going to create a p tag, and we will have hello test app. Save the file. Now go back to the browser. So as you can see we have hello test app, and we don't need to refresh the page manually. So as you do any change, the Lio server extension will auto reload your browser. Understand? And second, for the VS Code theme, I am using one Monokai theme. So if you want my theme, you just need to install one Monokai. Basically this one. So I have already installed one Monokai theme. And for icons, as you can see, this file has a HTML icon. So for icons I am using the material icon theme. So just search for material icons icon theme, basically this one. So you just need to install this extension. Understand? So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video. In this video we are going to talk about Tailwind CSS. So the first question is, what is Tailwind CSS? Tailwind CSS is the combination of low-level classes. Low-level classes means in Tailwind CSS we have classes for padding, margin, background colors, text colors, font sizes, etc. So we have lots of classes. Using those classes we can create our own custom design. Custom design basically means with the help of Tailwind CSS we can create our own buttons, forms, cards, etc. Unlike Bootstrap, because Bootstrap is a component based framework, which means Bootstrap comes with pre-built components. Understand? Now I want to show you Tailwind CSS practically that how Tailwind CSS basically works. So open up your browser and go to tailwindcss.com. Now click on get started, and right here we have playground. So just click on playground, and right here we have this IDE. In this IDE we can write the Tailwind CSS code. So first of all I am going to delete this code. So Control A, delete. Now I am going to create a div tag. So type div and press the tab key from the keyboard like so. Inside of this div tag we will have class equal to single quotes or double quotes. Now I want to use the Tailwind CSS classes. So the first class I want to use w-full. W-full is a Tailwind CSS class, and this class produce this code width colon 100%. Second, I am going to use h dash screen. H screen is also a Tailwind CSS class, and this class produce this code height colon 100 vh. And third, I am going to use bg. So bg means background. After I am going to add dash, let's say black. So bg black basically means background black. Okay, and we will have p dash 5. So p means padding and 5 means 20. So padding 20 pixels from all sides. Okay, inside of this div tag I am going to create a button, and we will have title register, and this button will have a class equal to double quotes bg dash dash indigo dash 500. Okay, after we will have text dash white. So text white means text color should be white. Okay, after we will have px. So px means padding left and right. So let's say 4. So 4 means 16 pixels. Okay, after we will have py. So py means padding top and bottom. So let's say 2. So 2 means 8 pixels. After we will have capitalize. So capitalize basically means text transform capitalize. After we will have font dash medium. So font medium means font weight 500. Okay, after we will have rounded dash md. So rounded dash md means border radius 6 pixels like so. So friends, we have created this button with the help of Tailwind CSS, and these are low level classes. These are low level classes. With the help of these low level classes we can create our own components. Understand? So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video. In this video we are going to link Tailwind CSS in the HTML file through CDN. So first of all we have to create a new folder. Go to VS Code, now go to file and click on open folder. And by the way, you can create your new folder anywhere, but in my case I want to create my new folder in F drive. Inside the F drive I am going to create a new folder, and the folder name will Tailwind CSS. Now inside the Tailwind CSS I am going to create another new folder, and name will be Tailwind CSS dash basics. Let's create that. Select folder, and we have Tailwind CSS dash basics. Now go to tailwindcss.com and click on get started. And right here, as you can see, we have different options. We have Tailwind CLI using PostCSS framework guides, and finally we have play CDN. So what we need to do, just click on play CDN, and I am going to copy this script tag. Let me copy. Now go back to VS Code, and inside this folder I am going to create a new file, index.html. Now I am going to create simple HTML boilerplate. So type HTML colon 5 and press the tab key from the keyboard like so. Below the title I am going to paste that script tag like so. Now inside the body I am going to create h1, and we will have hello Tailwind CSS. Now h1 will have class. Now I want to use some Tailwind CSS classes. So let's say bg dash green dash 500, and after we will have text dash red dash 500, and these are Tailwind CSS classes. Now I want to open up this file in the browser. So what we need to do, just right click here and we have open with live server. And as you can see, we have this green background, and after we have red text, understand? So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video. In this video we are going to set up Tailwind CSS through Tailwind CLI. So go to VS Code, and first of all I am going to create a new folder. So go to file, click on open folder. Inside of Tailwind CSS I am going to create a new folder. We will have Tailwind dash CLI. Let's create that. Select folder, and we have Tailwind dash CLI folder. Inside of Tailwind CLI we have to create a package.json file. Now friends, what will do package.json file? package.json file will keep the list of npm dependencies. So that's why we have to create a package.json file. So simply open up your command prompt or terminal, and I will go to F drive. So F colon, press the enter key. Now inside of F drive we have Tailwind CSS folder. So cd means change directory, and we have Tailwind CSS. Inside of Tailwind CSS folder we have Tailwind-CLI folder. So again cd Tailwind-CLI. Now I am going to add CLS. CLS means clear screen, like so. Now we have to type npm init and press the enter key. And we have some questions. The first question, we have package name. By default we have Tailwind CLI, so I want to use Tailwind CLI, so just enter. We have version, so again enter. Now we have description, so let's say setup Tailwind CSS through Tailwind CLI. Enter, 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 enter. We have author, so let's say Shakil Khan. License, enter. Is this okay? Yes, just enter. And we have package.json file. Okay, now go to tailwindcss.com, and right here we have Tailwind CLI. So the first thing we have to install Tailwind CSS package is a development dependency. -d means development dependency, because we need Tailwind CSS package only during development. So let me copy this command and simply cls, paste that, enter. Now just wait a moment, just wait. If I go to VS Code, and we have node underscore modules folder. Inside of this folder we have Tailwind CSS package, and inside of package.json file we have div dependencies, and we have Tailwind CSS package. The second thing, we have to run this command, and this command will basically create tailwind.config.js file. Okay, so let me copy this command, paste that here, and we have tailwind.config.js file. Now I am going to create a new folder. We will have src. Now inside of src we have to create input.css file. So inside of src, new file, input.css, and let me copy these lines, paste them here. Now inside of src folder I am going to create another file, index.html. we will have basic html template, so html:5, and press the tab key. We will have title Tailwind CSS CLI. Okay, and now go to tailwind.config config.js file. Inside of this file we have this object. Inside of this object we have content, and this has an array. Inside of this array we have to target index.html file because I want to use the Tailwind CSS classes inside of index.html file. So that's why we have to target index.html file inside of this array. So let me add here single quotes or double quotes dot slash. Dot slash means root directory. So we have tailwind dash CLI. After we have src, I mean we have src folder. Inside of src folder we have index.html file. Okay, so I want to use the Tailwind CSS classes inside of index.html file. Instead this thing we could also use this expression. Let me copy and let me delete this thing, paste that one. Okay, so dot slash means root directory. After we have src folder, and after we have slash 2 stars. So 2 stars basically means match 0 or more folders. Okay, so let's say inside of src if we have new folder, let's say test, so these 2 stars will target test folder. Okay, but let me delete the test, we don't need that. So 2 stars means match 0 or more folders. Okay, after that we have slash 1 star. So star means match anything except slashes and hidden files. So this star will target index and input without .css and .html. After we have dot. So this dot means this dot and this dot, but I want to target only index.html. So let me delete this thing and I am going to add here html. Okay, so this html means this html. So this expression will target index.html file. Okay, but let's say in the future if you want to use the Tailwind CSS classes in JavaScript files as well, then what we need to do, simply we have to target JavaScript files as well. So let me delete this thing and we have to add curly braces html comma js files. Okay, understand? Let me close up. Now inside of index.html I want to use some Tailwind classes. So let's say we will have div class, we will have bg black, and this is a Tailwind CSS class. We will have hello Tailwind CSS CLI. Okay, now we have to compile this code into plain CSS. So in that plain CSS file we will have this class bg dash black. So how we can compile this code into plain CSS? Simply go to package.json. Inside of scripts I am going to create a new script. So double quotes, and let's say we will have compile dash tailwind. This name is totally up to you. After we will have colon, double quotes again, semicolon. Okay. Now the first thing we have to add here, Tailwind CSS. I mean this package. After we will have dash I. So dash I means input. So simply we have to target this input.css file. So let me add here a space dot slash go to src. Inside of there we have input.css file. So we have to compile this file into plain css. So where will be the plain css file? So let me add here dash o. Dash o means output. So we will have dot slash dist folder. Inside of there we will have output dot css file. So inside of this file we will have the output code, we will have the compiled code, and finally let me add here dash dash watch. So this flag will watch for changes, this flag will watch for changes, understand? So let me save the file, go to command prompt and cls npm run. So I want to run this script, compile dash tailwind. So let's say sorry guys, let me add here compile dash tailwind. Yeah, exactly fine. And as you can see we have dist folder. Inside of dist we have output.css file, and we have this normal css code. Now simply go to index.html and we have to link output.css file inside of index.html. So below title let me add here link, go one level up. So dot slash we have dist folder. After we have output.css file. Okay, so now here let's say I want to use another Tailwind CSS class. So let's say text dash white, save the file. Now if I go to output.css file, let me scroll down. So as you can see we have bg black, we have text white, and up as you can see up here we have some base styles, we have some base styles, and don't worry, we will learn more about base styles, understand? But at the bottom we have these utility classes, understand? Let's say if I add here text green dash 500, save the file, go to output.css. So as you can see we have another class, we have text dash green dash 500, understand? So friends, enough for this video. Still if you have any issue in this video you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video. In this video we are going to set up Tailwind CSS through PostCSS plugin. Along with PostCSS plugin we should need to use Webpack or Rollup or Vite or Parcel. You can call this thing Vite or White. So in this video I will use Vite along with PostCSS, and Vite is a build tool. Understand? Now go to VS Code, and again I am going to create a new folder. So go to File, Open Folder. Now let me create a new folder. We will have Tailwind dash Vite, create new folder, select folder. Okay. Now the first thing, we have to create a package.json file. So simply open up your command prompt or terminal, and I will go to if drive. Now cd tailwind css, now cd tailwind dash Vite cls npm init. Now press enter. So I want to use the default name, so just enter. We have description, setup tailwind css through PostCSS and Vite. Now enter. We have author Shakil Khan. Is this okay? Yes. Now CLS, go to tailwindcss.com, and we have to install these dependencies. Let me copy, paste them here, and we have to install Vite package as well. So Vite, now press enter. Now just wait a moment. Now if I go to Tailwind, not Tailwind, if I go to VS Code, as you can see, we have node underscore modules folder. Inside of package.json, we have these dependencies. Understand? Now inside of scripts, I am going to create a new script. So double quotes, compile dash tailwind colon double quotes comma, and inside of double quotes I am going to add here Vite, basically this thing. Let me save the file. Now go to tailwindcss.com. Second, we have to run this command. Let me copy, paste that here. Now we have tailwind.config.js. Now inside the root folder I am going to create a new file, index.html. Now we will have simple HTML template. So HTML colon 5 and press the tab key. We will have title Tailwind CSS Vite. Okay. Now inside of tailwind.config.js we have to target index.html file. So inside of root folder we have index.html. So inside of this array we can add path like this, /index.html, and we can also add path look like this, just 1 star. So 1 star basically means inside the root folders I want to use Tailwind CSS classes in all HTML and JavaScript files. Understand? So let me save the file and go to tailwindcss.com. Now we have to create postcss.config.js file. So inside the root folder, new file, post css dot config.js. Now let me copy this code, paste them here. Now go to tailwindcss.com, scroll down. Now we have to create main.css file, and name is totally up to you. So let's say app.css, and we have to copy these lines. Let me copy, paste them here. Now inside of index.html we have to link this file app.css. So let me add here a link /app.css. And friends, one thing more, we don't need to compile this file manually. Behind the scene, Vite is doing everything for us. Understand? We just need to link this file inside of index.html, and finally we have to run this script. So let me add here cls npm run compile dash tailwind. Now as you can see, we have this development server. So simply go to the browser, localhost colon 3000. Yeah, as you can see up here we have Tailwind CSS Vite. Okay, so let's say I want to use some Tailwind CSS classes. Div class bg black text white. We will have some dummy text. So let's say low rem and press the tab key from the keyboard like so. Save the file, go back to the browser. Yeah, exactly fine. And we will have, let's say we will have p dash file. Save the file, go back to the browser. So as you can see, we have little bit padding. From all sides. So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video. In this video, we are going to set up Tailwind CSS through PostCSS plugin and Parcel. Parcel is also a build tool. So in this video we will use Parcel with PostCSS plugin. So go to VS Code, and again I am going to create a new folder. So go to File, Open Folder, and I am going to create a new folder. So we will have Tailwind dash Parcel. Select folder, and the first thing we have to create a package.json file. So simply open up your command prompt or terminal, and I will go to F drive. Now cd Tailwind CSS. Now cd Tailwind dash Parcel CLS. Now npm init. Now just enter. We have description. So set up Tailwind CSS through PostCSS plugin and Parcel build tool. Enter. We have author, so Shakil Khan. Is this okay? Yes. CLS. Now go to tailwindcss.com and we have to install these dependencies. Let me copy paste them here, and we have to install parcel tool as well. So first of all, let me show you parcel. So we have this website parceljs.org. Just click here. Now get started building a web page with parcel, and we have this command npm install parcel. So just add here space parcel like so. Now just wait a moment. Packages have installed. Now if I go to VS Code, so as you can see we have node underscore modules folder. Now I am going to create a new file index.html. We will have basic HTML template. So HTML colon 5 and press the tab key, and we will have title Tailwind CSS with post CSS and parcel. Okay. Now I am going to create another file app.css. Now go to tailwindcss.com and we have to run this command. Let me copy paste that here. Now we have tailwind.config.js file. Inside of this array I am going to add here single quotes or double quotes asterisk. So asterisk or this star will target all root files, or you can add path like this index.html. okay, but in my case I am going to add here just one star. Okay. Now go to tailwindcss.com and we have to create post css.config.js file. So let me create a new file post css.config.js, and I am going to copy this code, paste them here. Now we have to copy these lines. Now go to app.css, paste them here. Now go to index.html. Below the title I am going to add here link, and we have to link app.css. Now go to package.json and I am going to create a new script. So we will have, let's say, compile dash tailwind colon double quotes comma, and let me close up. The first thing we have to add here just parcel, basically this thing. After we have to add the HTML file name. So we have index.html. So let me add here index.html, save the file. Now go to command prompt cls npm run. So I want to run this script compile dash tailwind. So compile dash tailwind, So as you can see, we have this development server localhost colon 1234. Simply go to the browser, localhost colon 1234. Just wait. So as you can see, we have building app.css. Just wait a moment. Yeah, we have Tailwind CSS with PostCSS and Parcel. Now if I go to index.html and I want to use some Tailwind CSS classes, so we will have div class, we will have bg dash green dash 600. After we will have text white, we will have some dummy text, so let's say lorem, and press the tab key. Save the file, go back to the browser. Yeah, exactly fine. We will have little bit padding, so p dash, let's say 5. Save the file, go back to the browser. Yeah, exactly fine. So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video. In the previous section, I had shown you that how to create the Tailwind CSS projects through different methods. Now you can use any method from all of them, but I will use Tailwind CSS with CLI, and I have opened up that folder and VS Code. As you can see, I have Tailwind-CLI folder. Inside of this folder I have src folder. Inside of src I have index.html file, and I have linked an output.css file, and this file is coming from the dist folder. Second, we have input.css file. Inside of this file we have these 3 lines of code. Now let's go to package.json file, and I am going to run this script, compile dash tailwind. Just open up your command prompt, and I have tailwind dash CLI. Now simply type npm run compile dash tailwind, like so, and this command should be up and running. Okay, now let's go to input.css file. Now I'm going to explain you these 3 lines of code. So up here we have @tailwind. So what is @tailwind? @tailwind is the Tailwind CSS directory, and this directory inject base styles into your output.css file, and these all are base styles. Base styles basically remove the default padding, margin, and some more things from all of HTML tags. Understand? Second, we have @tailwind components. So here @tailwind directory inject component classes into your output.css file, and right now we don't have any component classes, but later in this course we will create tons of component classes. So here Tailwind directory inject component classes into your output.css file, and finally we have @tailwind utilities. So here tailwind directive inject utilities classes into your output.css file, and these are utility classes. These are utility classes, and in this course we will use 100% utility classes. Understand? So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video. In this video we are going to install the VS Code extension for Tailwind CSS. If I type here bg, as you can see we have auto suggest list. In this list we have tons of Tailwind CSS classes. So if you also want this auto suggest list, then you have to install the VS Code extension for Tailwind CSS. So just click on this icon and search for Tailwind CSS. Basically this one I have already installed, so just install this extension Tailwind CSS IntelliSense. Okay, understand? So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video. In this video we are going to explore the Tailwind CSS background color classes. Now to use the background color classes inside of this class, I am going to add bg dash. After the dash we have to add the color name, and from this list we can add any name. We have slate, gray, zinc, neutral, we have stone, red, orange, we have green, we have teal, we have sky blue, indigo. We have tons of names. So let's say I am going to choose indigo. So indigo dash. After the dash we have to add the shade number. So we have 50, 100, 200 up to 900. So let's say I am going to choose 600. So 600. Let me save the file, and now I am going to open up the live server, and we have this indigo background. Instead indigo I am going to add here green. Save the file, go back to the browser, let me refresh. Fine. If I add here red, save the file, go back to the browser, refresh. Fine. If I add here orange, save the file, we have orange background. Understand? Now instead orange dash 600, if I want to add custom color name, for that we have to create a custom class. So simply I am going to delete orange dash 600, and now I am going to add square brackets. Inside of the square brackets we can add any color name. We can add any color name. So let's say if I add here, let's say maroon, and if I go to tailwindcss.com, and this list we don't have maroon name. Understand? Now if I save the file Tailwind CSS we'll create a class with this name. As you can see, we have dot bg dash backslash square bracket. So why we have this backslash? Because in CSS class names square brackets are not allowed. So first of all, we have to escape the square brackets. Let me show you practically. Simply go to input.css and I'm going to create a class, let's say .bg dash square brackets green curly braces. So this is not a valid class name. First of all, we have to escape this square bracket and this one. So before the square bracket, I am going to add backslash and here also. So now this is a valid class name. Understand? Let me delete, save the file, go back to the browser, and we have this maroon background. If I add here, let's say I am going to add cane, save the file. So we have this cane background. If I add here, let's say brown, save the file. So we have brown background. Understand? Now let's say if I want to change the opacity of this color, so after the square bracket I am going to add forward slash. After the forward slash we can add here 0, 5, 10, 20, 25 up to 100. So let's say if I choose 30, so as you can see we have this background, and we have opacity 0.3. So 30 basically means 0.3. If I choose here 50, so 50 basically means opacity 0.5. Understand? Let me save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. Now if I want to change the text color, so for that instead bg we have to add text, and now I'm going to add dash and the color name. So let's say white. Save the file, go back to the browser, let me refresh. Exactly fine. And if you want to add a custom color, just delete white and add here square brackets. Inside of the square brackets you can add any color name. So let's say I'm going to add here dark gray. Save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. And if I add here, let's say cane, save the file. Exactly fine. Understand? So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video. In this video we are going to talk about the font size classes. So simply I am going to add text dash. The first class we have XS, which means font size 12 pixels. Second we have SM, which means font size 14 pixels. After we have text dash base, which means font size 16 pixels. After we have LG, which means font size 18 pixels. After we have XL, which means font size 20 pixels. After we have 2XL, 3XL, 4XL, 5XL up to 9XL. So simply I am going to choose text dash 9XL. Save the file, which means font size 128 pixels. Go to the browser, exactly fine. And if you need custom font size, for that just delete 9XL and add here square brackets. Inside of the square brackets you can add any random value for font size. So let's say 25 px. Save the file. So as you can see, we have font size 25 pixels. If I add here 36, save the file. So we have font size 36. If I add here 55, so we have font size 55 pixels. Let me save the file, go back to the browser, let me refresh. Exactly fine. Now if I want to increase the font weight of this text, for that we have font dash, we have 10, which means font weight 100. Let me show you. We have font weight 100. After we have extra light, which means font weight 200. After we have light, which means 300. We have normal, medium, semi bold, bold, extra bold, and finally we have black, which means font weight 900. Let me save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. Now if I want to convert this text into uppercase, for that we have uppercase. Save the file. Another class we have lowercase. Save the file. And another we have capitalize. Let me save the file. Exactly fine. Okay, so friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video. In this video we are going to talk about the padding and margin classes. So first of all, I am going to explore the padding classes. So simply I am going to add here p dash. So p basically means padding from all sides, and we have different numbers. We have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we have these numbers up to 96. Let me show you. Finally we have 96. Understand? So let's say if I choose p dash 32, then we will have padding from all sides 128. And if you are thinking about this number, that how this number is calculated, so just multiply 4 with this number. Let me show you practically. So let me open up the calculator. So we have 32. So 32 multiply by 4 equal to, so we have 128. Understand? Now if you need custom padding, just add here square brackets. Inside of the square brackets you can add any random number for padding. So let's say 200 px. Now if I hover, as you can see we have padding 200 pixels. If I add here 600, then we will have padding 600 pixels. Understand? Now if you need padding top and bottom, then add here py. So py basically means padding top and bottom. If you need padding left and right, then add here px, which means padding left and right. And if you need just padding top, then add here T. So T basically means padding top. And if I add here PR, which means padding right, if I add here PL, which means padding left, and if I add here PB, which means padding bottom. So let me save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine, understand? And if I want to use margin, so instead P, we have to add here M. So M basically means margin. So as you can see, we have margin bottom 600 pixels. If I add here just M, so M basically means margin 600 pixels. If I add here PY, which means not PY, MY. So MY basically means margin top and bottom. If I add here MX, which means margin left and right. Understand? So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video. In this video, we are going to explore width classes. In the previous video, I forgot one thing, and that is negative margin. Let's say if you need negative margin, just at the beginning of this class, I am going to add minus like so. Now if I hover on this class, we have margin left minus 600, margin right minus 600. If I remove X, so now we have just margin minus 600. Now I am going to delete this negative margin because we don't need. And for width, I am going to add W dash. So after the dash, we have different numbers from 0 up to 96. So let's say if I choose, let's say W dash 48, so we have width 192. Let me save the file, go back to the browser, exactly fine. And if you need custom width, for that I am going to add square brackets. Inside of square brackets, we can add any value for custom width. So let's say 500 pixels. Let me save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. Okay. And if you need width and percentage, so instead px, I am going to add percentage like so, and let's say I am going to add 50%. Let me save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. Okay. And if I add here W dash 1 divide by 12. Okay. So in this expression, this 12 basically represent the maximum columns. This 12 represent the maximum columns. So in a single row, maximum we will have 12 columns, and from those 12 columns, just give me one column. This one basically means from the 12 columns, just give me one column, and we have this width in percentage. And let's say if I add here 2, so from the 12 columns, just give me 2 columns, and we have this width. If I add here 3, so from 12 columns, just give me 3 columns. If I save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. So if I add here 6, which means from the 12 columns, just give me 6 columns, and we have width 50%. Let me save the file, go back to the browser, and we can add this number up to 11. So 11 basically means from 12 columns just give me 11 columns like so. And if I need full width, for that we have w dash full class. Save the file, and we have width 100% like so. Exactly fine. And let's say if you need minimum width, then just add main dash w. As you can see, we have these classes: main dash w dash 0, full, main dash w dash main, and we have these classes. Okay, and for maximum width, just add max dash w, and we have these classes. Okay, so let's say if I choose max dash w dash screen dash xl, which means maximum width 1280 pixels. Understand? Let me save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. And let's say if I want to center this container horizontally, for that we need margin left and right auto. So let me add here mx, which means margin left and right, so dash auto. So we have margin left and right auto. Save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. Okay, so friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video. In this video we are going to explore height classes. So right here I am going to add h dash. After the dash, again we have these numbers from 0 up to 96. So let's say if I choose h dash 96, so we have height 384 pixels. Let me save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. And if you need a custom height, just add here square brackets. Inside of square brackets I am going to add 600 pixels. Let me save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. And if I add 60%, so we have height 60%. And if I add h dash full, so we have height 100%. And if I add h dash screen, which means height 100 vh stands for viewport height. Let me save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. Okay, and for minimum height, just add min dash h, and we have these classes. Okay, and for maximum just add m x dash h, and we have these classes for a maximum height. Understand? So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video. In this video we are going to explore borders. So first of all, I am going to delete these classes, and I am going to add bg dash red dash 400. After we will have width, so w dash square brackets 300 pixels, h dash square brackets 300 pixels. Save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. Now I want to center this area horizontally, so we just need margin left and right auto. So mx dash auto, save the file, and from the top we will have a little bit margin, so empty dash 20, save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. Now this block will have border, so for border I am going to add just border class, and we have border width 1 pixel. Let me save the file, go back to the browser, and we don't see the border clearly because we have border width 1 pixel. So if I add here dash, so now we have border 0 2 4 8. I am going to choose border dash 8. So we have border width 8 pixels. Let me save the file, go back to the browser, and we have this gray border. By default we have this gray border, but I want to change the color of this border. So just go to index.html. I am going to add border dash. After the dash we can add any color name. So let's say green dash, let's say 500. Save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. Now I want to change the style of this border. So border dash dotted. So now we have this dotted border. If I add dashed, save the file, so we have this dashed border. Now I want to round the corners of this area. I want to round the corners of this block. So simply we have to use border radius. So I am going to add just a rounded class. Rounded means border radius 4 pixels. Let me save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. And if I add dash sm, which means border radius 2 pixels. If I add md, so we have border radius 6 pixels. If I add lg, so we have border radius 8 pixels. We have xl, we have 2xl, we have 3xl, and if I add full, save the file, go back to the browser, and we have this rounded area. Okay, now let's say I want to add only border top right radius. So for that I'm going to add rounded dash t. So t means top, and now I am going to add r. So r means right, so tr means top right dash. So let's say we can choose sm, md, lg, xl, 2xl, 3xl, or we can add a custom value. So let's say 30 pixels. Save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. And if I add here TL, which means top left, like so, and if I add BL, which means bottom left, like so, and if I add BR, which means bottom right, like so. So friends, enough For this video, still if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. In this video, we are going to explore the shadow classes. So if I add here shadow, save the file, go back to the browser, and we don't see the box shadow clearly, but if I add dash, so we have SM, MD, LG, XL, 2XL. Save the file, go back to the browser, and again we don't see the box shadow clearly. So what I want to change the shadow color. So shadow dash, after the dash we have to add the color name. So let's say green dash 700. Save the file, go back to the browser, exactly fine. Okay, and if I add orange, we have this orange shadow, and let's say I'm going to add a custom color, so square brackets sky blue. Save the file, go back to the browser, exactly fine. Okay, so friends, enough for this video. Still if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. In this video we are going to talk about that how to create gradient background. So first of all, I am going to delete shadow classes and also rounded classes and border classes, like so. Save the file, go back to the browser, exactly fine. So first of all, we have to define the colors direction. For that we have bg dash gradient dash 2 dash. So let's say if I add r, so r means to right. As you can see, we have to right. And if I add here l, so l means to left. As you can see, we have to left. And if I add b, so b means to bottom. Okay, so let's say I am going to choose r, so r means to right. Now we have to define the starting color. So for that we have from dash, after the dash we have to add the color name. So let's say green dash 400. And one thing more, I am going to delete this background color. Okay, and finally we have to define the ending color. So for that we have two dash, after the dash we have to add the color name. So let's say green dash 900. Save the file, go back to the browser, exactly fine. And we have this gradient background. Let's say if I want to add another color between this color and this color, I want to add another third color, I mean middle color. So for that we have VIA dash, after the dash we have to add the color name. So let's say red dash 300. Save the file, go back to the browser, exactly fine. So now we have three colors. Understand? So friends, enough for this video. Still if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. In this video we are going to explore pseudo after and before classes. So after this block I want to add something. So simply we have to use pseudo after class. Simply go to index.html, and this div tag will have position relative. Now I am going to add after colon. After the colon, we can add any Tailwind CSS class. After the colon, we can add any Tailwind CSS class. So let's say we will have position absolute, and again after colon, and we will have top position. So let's say top dash full. So top dash full means top 100%. Okay. After again after colon left we will have dash 0, and after colon w dash full, I mean width 100%, and after colon h dash full, after colon bg dash orange dash 600. Save the file. Now if I go to the browser, exactly fine. Now let's say inside of this orange area I want to add a message. So for that simply write here after colon content dash square brackets. Inside of square brackets I am going to add single quotes, and I am going to add just hello. Save the file, go back to the browser, exactly fine. And one thing more, spaces are not allowed. So let's say if I add here one space, two spaces, three spaces, hello world. Save the file, go back to the browser, and we have nothing. So keep in mind, spaces are not allowed. And I am going to add hello dash world. Save the file, go back to the browser, exactly fine. So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. In this video we are going to talk about that how to apply hover effect on the HTML elements using the Tailwind CSS classes. So simply go to index.html, and I am going to delete this div tag, and I am going to create a button, and we will apply hover effect on that button. So we will have a div tag class margin from all sides 20. So 20 means 80 pixels. Okay. Inside of this div tag we will have an anchor tag. We will have title register, and class we will have padding left and right. So we will have px dash 5. Padding top and bottom we will have py dash square brackets 10 pixels. We will have text capitalize, text should be white, bg dash green dash 600, and we will have rounded. Save the file, go back to the browser, and we have this green button. Now if I hover on this button, then I want to change the background color of this button. So I am going to add hover colon. After the colon we can add any Tailwind CSS class. So let's say bg dash green dash 900. Save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. Now I want to animate the hover effect little bit. So for that we have transition all. Second, I am going to add duration 700, which means transition duration 700 milliseconds. Let me save the file, go back to the browser. So if I hover, exactly fine. Okay, so friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video. In this video we are going to explore CSS Flexbox. So the first question is, what is Flexbox? Flexbox is a layout module. Flexbox places columns and rows very easily. We create responsive websites through Flexbox very easily. In Flexbox we have two main things, flex container and flex items. So what is flex container and what are flex items? Let me show you practically. Simply I am going to delete this code, and now I am going to create a div tag. Inside of this div tag we will have three more div tags. So div 1, div 2 and div 3. So this is a parent div tag, this is a parent div tag. So this is a flex container, this div tag is a flex container. Inside of this flex container we have these childs, we have these childs. So these are flex items or flex columns, these are flex items or flex columns. Now if I save the file and go to the browser, so we have this layout. Now I want to place these items in a row direction. So inside of this flex container I am going to add a class flex. So flex means display flex. Let me save the file, go back to the browser. So as you can see we have these items in a row direction. So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. In this video we are going to explore these flex items. First of all, I am going to give background color to each item. So we will have class bg dash red dash 500. Second, we will have bg dash green dash 500, and finally we will have bg dash green, not green, blue dash 500. And this container will have bg dash gray dash 500. Let me save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. So inside of this row, as you can see, we have this free available space, and I want to give this whole free available space to item 1. I want to give this whole free available space to item 1. So what I am going to do, simply go to index.html, and item 1 will have flex dash grow. So if I hover, we have this property flex grow 1. So 1 basically means give whole free available space to this item. Let me save the file, go back to the browser, exactly fine, and item 1 took the whole free available space. Now let's say if I want to distribute the free available space between item 1 and item 2. For that I am going to add here again flex dash grow. Save the file, exactly fine. And if I add here as well flex dash grow, save the file, exactly fine. Okay, now let's say if I want to give 2 times space to item 1 according to item 2 and item 3. For that we have to create a custom class. So after the grow I am going to add dash square brackets, so let's say 2. Now if I hover, so as you can see we have flex grow 2. So this 2 means give 2 times space to item 1 according to item 2 and item 3. Let me save the file, go back to the browser, exactly fine. Okay, now instead grow, let me delete grow classes. I am going to use width. Okay, so I am going to add here w dash 4 slash 12. So from 12 columns give me 4 columns. Okay, and here also w dash 4 slash 12, and here w dash 4 slash 12. So 4 plus 4 equal to 8 plus 4 equal to 12. Okay, let me save the file, go back to the browser, and we have same output. And if I hover on this class, as you can see we have width and we have this value. So instead width we can also use bases. Now if I hover, so as you can see we have flex basis property and we have this same value. So instead width we can also use flex basis. So if I save the file, go back to the browser, as you can see we have same output. So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue you can ask the question. In this video we are going to explore FlexWrap class. Inside of this row, as you can see we don't have any free available space. Now if I add one more item, let me copy this item, paste it here, and we will have indigo, and we will have 4. Save the file, go back to the browser, and Flexbox also put the 4th item in this row. And I don't want this. I want, if we don't have free available space in a row, then move the rest of items in the next row. For that, inside of this flex container I am going to use flex dash wrap class. If I hover, so we have flex wrap, and this has wrap value. So let me save the file, Exactly fine. So we have the fourth item in the next row. Understand? And if I add one more item or two more, so we will have, let's say, purple 5. Here we will have orange, we will have 6. Save the file. Exactly fine. Understand? So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. In this video, we are going to align flex items vertically and horizontally. So go to index.html and I am going to delete these 4 items, and flex container will have height, so h dash screen, which means height 100 vh, and these 2 items will also have height, so h dash 20, which means height 80 pixels, and here also we will have h dash 20. Save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. So now I want to align these 2 items horizontally. So inside of this flex container I am going to add justify. So as you can see, we have different classes. We have justify start, justify end, justify center. So let's say if I choose justify dash center, save the file, go back to the browser, and we have centered elements. We have centered elements. And if I choose end, save the file, go back to the browser, so we have items at the end. And if I choose, let's say, between, so between the items we will have equal space, like so. As you can see, we have this space between these 2 items. And if I choose around, so around the items we will have space, like so. And if I choose evenly, so we will have equal space around and between the items. As you can see, between and around the items we have equal space. Understand? And now I want to align these items vertically. So for that we have items. As you can see, we have different classes: start, end, center, baseline, stretch. So let's say I'm going to use center. Save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. And if I choose end, save the file, refresh. Exactly fine. And if I choose start, which is a default value, like so, exactly fine. Okay, so here instead evenly I'm going to use just center, and here also center. Save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video. In this video we are going to talk about that what is the basic difference between block elements and inline elements. In HTML we have two kind of elements: block elements and inline elements. So div tag is a block level element. section is a block element, header is a block element, p tag is a block element, and article is a block element, and footer is a block element. Block element basically takes off the whole width. Block element takes off the whole width. Let me show you. I am going to add here block element, and this will have class bg dash red dash 500. Save the file, go back to the browser. As you can see, exactly fine. And now let me delete these elements. And now anchor tag is a inline element, span is a inline element, and img is a inline element, and ul is a inline element, li is a inline element. Okay, so inline element doesn't take the whole space. Inline element doesn't take the full width. Let me show you. Inside of this anchor tag, I'm going to add register, and we will have class bg dash green dash 500 px dash 6 py dash 2.5, and we will have rounded, and we will have text white, capitalize. Save the file, go back to the browser. As you can see, exactly fine. And inline element doesn't take the full width. So let's say if I want to convert this inline element to block element, for that we have to use block class. So block means display block. Let me save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. And keep in mind one thing, inline elements doesn't take margin top and bottom. Let me show you. If I remove block and if I add here my, which means margin top and bottom, so let's say dash 20, which means 80 pixels. Let me save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. So inline elements doesn't take the margin top and bottom. So if I want to apply margin top and bottom on inline elements, first of all we have to convert inline element to block element. So let me add here block, save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. Now if you want to keep this element as a inline element, but if you want to treat this element as a block element, for that we have to use inline block, save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. And as you can see, we have margin top and bottom. Understand? So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. In this video we are going to talk about that how to use the Tailwind CSS responsive classes. First of all, go to tailwindcss.com and I am going to show you the Tailwind CSS breakpoints. Now click on get started and now click on responsive design. As you can see, we have these breakpoints. So for small screen we use this breakpoint 640 pixels. For medium screen we use 768 pixels. For large screen we use this breakpoint and so on. Now to target small screen, simply we have to use SM prefix. For medium screen we have to use MD prefix. For large screen we have to use LG prefix. Now keep in mind, if we have screen width below 640 pixels, then we don't need to use any prefix. If we have screen width below 640 pixels, then we don't need to use any prefix. So that means Tailwind CSS as a mobile first framework. Let me show you. As you can see, by default Tailwind CSS uses a mobile first breakpoint system similar to what you might be used to in other frameworks like Bootstrap. Understand? So if we have screen width below 640 pixels, then we don't need to use any prefix. And right here we have this media query. So we have main width, which means if we have screen width above this number, then do something after we have this number. So if we have screen width above this number, then do something. So simply go to index.html. I am going to delete this code and we will have a div tag. So let's say responsive design like so. We will have class bg dash red dash 500. Save the file. Let me refresh. Exactly fine. Now if we have screen width above this number, then I want to change this background color. So simply we have to use SM prefix. So let me add here SM colon. After the colon we can use any Tailwind CSS class. So simply I am going to use bg dash orange dash 500. Let me save the file, and now I am going to do inspect. Now click on this mobile icon, okay, and just choose here responsive. Okay, so as you can see we have screen width 431 and we have background red. So if we have above this number, just see. So if we have above 640, just see. As you can see we have orange. Now if we have above this number, then I want to change the background again. So let me target MD, and as you can see we have MD prefix. So MD colon bg dash green dash 500. So if we have screen width above 768 pixels, just see 768. As you can see we have green. And if we have screen width above 1024 pixels, then I want to change the background again. So we have LG prefix. So LG colon bg dash indigo dash 500. So if we have screen width above this number, just see 1024. As you can see we have indigo. And if we have above this number, so we have XL prefix. So XL bg dash yellow dash 500. So if we have about 1280 pixels, just see 1280 pixels. As you can see, we have yellow, and finally we have 1536, and we have 2xl prefix. So 2xl colon bg dash purple dash 500. So if we have screen width 15,036 or above this number, then we will have purple. So just see, as you can see, we have purple. So if we have small screen, we will have red. As you can see, if we have small, we will have orange. If we have medium, we will have green. If we have large, we will have indigo. If we have extra large, we will have yellow, and finally we will have purple. Exactly fine. Okay, so friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. In this video, we are going to create a responsive layout. So first of all, I am going to delete this div tag, and we will have flex container. So div tag, and we will have class flex. Second, we will have flex dash wrap. Now inside of this flex container, we will have the flex items. So if we have screen width below 640 pixels, then we will have one column and a single row. So let me add here div tag column 1, and I am going to add class w dash full, which means width 100%, and we will have bg dash red dash 500, and we will have a little bit padding, so p dash 5. Let me save the file, go back to the browser. So as you can see, we have this column. Okay, now if we have screen width above 640 pixels, then we will have two columns and a single row. So for that, I am going to add here sm prefix colon w dash 6/12. Now I am going to copy this column or item, paste it here, and instead red we will have green column 2. So 6 plus 6 equal to 12. So we have covered 12 columns. Let me save the file. So now as you can see, if we have screen width below 640 pixels, then we will have one column and a single row. Now if we have above 640 pixels, just see, as you can see, we have two columns. Exactly fine. Okay, and now if we have medium screen, then we will have three columns and a single row. So for that, I am going to add here md colon w dash 4/12. Let me copy this class, paste it here. Now I am going to copy this column, paste it here. Instead green, we will have orange like so, and we will have column 3. So 4 plus 4 equal to 8. plus 4 equal to 12. So again we have covered 12 columns. Let me save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. Just see. So if we have medium screen, as you can see we have 3 columns. Okay, exactly fine. Now if we have large screen, then we will have 4 columns and a single row. So for that I am going to add lg colon w dash 3 slash 12. Now let me copy this class, paste it here, and now I am going to copy this column, paste it here. Instead orange we will have blue. So 3 plus 3 equal to 6 plus 3 equal to 9 plus 3 equal to 12, and right here we will have column 4. Now if I go to the browsers, if we have large screen, just see, as you can see we have 4 columns. Okay, and finally if we have large screen or above, not large, if we have extra large, screen or above extra large, then we will have 5 columns and a single row. So for that I am going to add here xl colon w dash square brackets, and I am going to add here 20%. Okay, now let me copy this class, paste it here, and here. Now I am going to copy this column, paste it here. We will have column 5. Instead blue I am going to add purple, like so. So 20 plus 20 equal to 40 plus 20 equal to 60 plus 20 equal to 80 plus 20 equal to 100. Understand? So let me save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. If we have small screen, we have this layout. If we have medium screen, we have this layout, and if we have large, we have this layout, and finally if we have extra large, just see, we have this layout. Understand? So we have this responsive layout, So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video. In this video we are going to explore tailwind.config.js file, and I want to access all the default values of this file, but right now we have just few lines of code inside of this file. So I want to delete this file, and I will recreate this file again with all the default values. So just delete this file and go to command prompt, stop the script. So control C, yes, cls npx tailwind css init and dash dash full flag. So dash dash full basically means create tailwind config.js file with all the default values. Just press enter. Now if I go to VS Code, as you can see we have this file and we have these all up values. Okay, now inside of content array I am going to add single quotes or double quotes dot slash go to src slash 2 stars slash 1 star dot curly braces html comma js. And right here we have break points. As you can see we have these break points. So let's say if I want to change this breakpoint, let's say I am going to add here, let's say 480 pixels. Let me save the file and let me add here cls npm run compile dash tailwind. Okay, now if I go to index.html and if I hover on this class, as you can see we have this breakpoint 480 pixels. And if I add here 300, go back to index.html, just hover, as you can see we have 380 pixels. Okay, but let me add here 640 pixels. Now in the Tailwind CSS colors list I want to add my own color. So just scroll down, as you can see we have colors and we have the colors name. We have black, white, slate, gray, zinc, neutral, stone, etc. So just scroll to the bottom of this list. First of all we have to add here a key. So the key name is totally up to you. So let's say I am going to add maroon colon, and now we have to add the color name. So single quotes or double quotes, I am going to add maroon like so. Now I want to use this color as a background color. So go to index.html and right here let me delete red dash 500. And so if I add bg dash ma, as you can see we have maroon. Right here we have maroon. So after the dash we have to add this name. Okay, so maroon, let me add maroon like so. Save the file, go back to the browser, we have maroon. Now let's say if I want to use this color as a text color, so let me scroll down and right here I am going to add text dash. After the dash we have to add this name maroon. Okay, so maroon like so. Save the file, go back to the browser. As you can see we have maroon text. Okay, so friends, enough for this video. Still if you have any issue in this video you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video. In this video we are going to talk about that how to add our own font family in the Tailwind CSS font families list. So if I search for font family. So as you can see, first of all we have sans and we have these families. Second we have serif and we have these families, and finally we have mono. So if I go to index.html, inside of this class I'm going to add font dash. So as you can see, we have sans, we have serif, and finally we have mono. So in this list I want to add my own font family. Just type Google fonts, click on the first link, and I'm going to search for Poppins, basically this one, and I'm going to select 100, select this style, and extra light 200, light 300, regular 400, medium 500, semi bold 600, 700, 800, and finally 900. Now I'm going to copy these two links and go to index.html, paste them right here. Okay, now I'm going to copy Poppins and sans serif. Let me copy, go to config.js, below the mono I'm going to add here a key. So the key name is totally up to you. So let's say Poppins colon, and let me add here an array, single quotes or double quotes, and paste that font family. Okay, now if I save the file and go to index.html, let me scroll down, I'm going to add here font dash. So just see, as you can see, we have Poppins. If I choose Poppins, if I hover, as you can see, we have font family Poppins sans serif. Okay, now friends, let me show you one thing. Sans as our default font family. Let me show you. If I go to this website, let me do inspect, and as you can see, inside of HTML we have font family, we have UI sans serif, we have these families. So instead these families I want to set my default font family, basically Poppins. So what I'm going to do, let me copy this array, and sans as our default font family. So let me delete this whole array, let me delete like so, and paste that array like so. Now if I go back to the browser, as you can see, we have font family Poppins sans serif. Understand? So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. In this video we are going to talk about that how to prefix all of Tailwind CSS classes. Prefix basically means before each Tailwind CSS class if you want to add some name before each Tailwind CSS class if you want to add some name. So for that, inside of this object I am going to add prefix key and comma. I am going to add, let's say, shackle dash. So now before each Tailwind CSS class we will have shackle dash. Save the file, go back to index.html. So if I add here, let's say shackle, as you can see we have shackle dash container dash sr only. So let's say I am going to use background color class, so bg dash red. As you can see we have these classes. If I add text dash sm or text dash base or lg, or if I use w dash 5/12, okay, but I am going to delete the prefix. I don't need this thing. So the file, okay. So enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. In this video we are going to talk about that how to place these all of Tailwind CSS classes in a single class. So go to input.css file and right here I am going to create a component class, and the class name is totally up to you. So let's say in my case dot my dash column curly braces. Inside of the curly braces I'm going to use @apply. So what is @apply directory? Apply directory basically means apply the Tailwind CSS classes inside of this class. Apply means apply the Tailwind CSS classes inside of this class. So I am going to apply these classes. Let me cut from here, paste them here. So apply means apply these classes inside of this class, okay. And I am going to delete the background class because each column will have a unique class, okay. Now inside of this class I am going to use my dash column. So my dash column. Second, I'm going to use bg dash maroon. Save the file. So if I go to the browser, as you can see we have same output. So instead these classes I'm going to use my dash column bg dash green dash 500, and here also we will have my dash column bg dash orange dash 500. Let me add here double quotes like so. After we will have my dash column bg dash blue dash 500, and finally I am going to add my dash column bg dash purple dash 500. Let me save the file, go back to the browser, exactly fine, and we have same output. Let me show you, exactly fine. we have same output. Understand? So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video. In this video, we are going to explore the layer directory. Before the layer directory, I am going to update this padding from index.html file. So inside of this class, I am going to use p-8, and keep in mind this padding will not going to work. Let me show you. Just go to the browser. As you can see, we have same output, and the reason is, before the reason, I am going to explain you the flow of Tailwind CSS, that how Tailwind CSS places your code. So first of all, we have base layer, which means first of all Tailwind CSS places your base classes. Second, we have components. So second, it places your component classes. And finally, it places your utility classes. Now below the utility classes, we have my column class. So if I go to an output.css file, let me scroll down. So as you can see, we have the utility classes. Below the utility classes, we have my dash column class. Inside of this class, we have padding 1.25 rem. Above this class, we have p-8. So this padding has replaced basically this padding. So what I want to place this class above the utility classes. So what we need to do, just go to input.css. I'm going to cut this class from here and place them right here, I mean above the utilities classes. Save the file. Now if I go to an output.css, just see, now above the utilities, as you can see, we have my column. So now if I go to the browser, exactly fine. And now this column has padding. Let me show you the padding. If I hover on this column, so as you can see, we have p-8, and the rest of columns have, let me show you, we have basically padding, we have this padding, but the first column has p-8. Understand? And instead this logic I am going to use below the utilities. I am going to use @layer directory, and I am going to place this class in the components layer. So just add here the layer name. So we have base, we have components, we have utilities. So I am going to use components curly braces. Let me cut this class, paste them right here. So a layer directory basically means place this class inside of components layer. Let me save the file. If I go to an output.css file, so as you can see, we have same output. We have same output like so. Exactly fine. So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video. Welcome in this section. In this section, we will create these fancy buttons. We have buttons. After we have rounded buttons, and after we have shadow buttons, after that we have material buttons, and after we have sweet buttons, and after that we have outline buttons, after that we have smart buttons, and after we have gradient buttons, and after we have loading buttons, and finally we have block buttons. So in this section we will create these all of buttons. So I will see you in the next video. In this video we are going to create a new Tailwind CSS project, and I will use PostCSS along with Vite. By the way, you can use Tailwind CSS CLI or PostCSS along with Parcel, but I will use PostCSS along with Vite. So the first thing, we have to create a new folder. Simply go to File, click on Open Folder, and I am going to create new folder, and the folder name will Tailwind dash components. Create that, select folder, and now we have to create a package.json file. So simply go to command prompt, and I am going to stop the npm script. So control C. Yes. Now I am going to navigate Tailwind dash components folder. So simply we have to go one level up. So cd dot dot. Now we are inside of Tailwind CSS folder. Now simply cd Tailwind dash components like so, cls npm init dash y flag. So dash y flag basically means now we don't need to answer all of questions. Just press the enter key, and we have package.json file. Now simply go to tailwindcss.com, get started. Now click on using PostCSS, and I am going to copy this thing, paste it here. So just wait a moment. Packages have installed. Now I am going to copy this command, paste it here, and now we have tailwind.config.js file, and now we have to create PostCSS .config.js file. So let me create new file, postcss.config.js, and I am going to copy this code, paste them here, and let's go to tailwind.config.js file. Let me add here / go to src folder 2 stars / 1 star dot curly braces html comma js. So now let's create new folder src. So this src basically means this folder. Inside of src I am going to create new file main.css, and again new file index not index buttons.html. Now I am going to create simple html boilerplate. So html:5 and press the tab key, and title we will have Tailwind CSS buttons. Now let's go to tailwindcss.com, and I am going to copy these 3 lines, paste them inside of here. And one thing more, we have to install Vite package as well. So npm I -D. I want to install Vite package as a development dependency. So Vite, just wait a moment. Package has installed. Now let's go to package.json file. Inside of scripts I am going to delete this name. Now just add the script name. So let's say div. By the way, you can add a, b, c, anything, but in my case div. And we just need to add here Vite, basically this thing. Okay, let me save the file, close up. Now let's go to buttons.html. Below the title I am going to add link. So /main.css. Now we have to run basically this script div. So cls npm run div. Yeah, and let's go to the browser, localhost colon, and we have 3004. So 3000. And one thing more, we have buttons.html file inside of src folder. So after the port number we have to add /src folder /buttons.html. Yeah, and up here we have Tailwind CSS buttons. Understand? So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video. In this video we are going to write the HTML code for buttons. So inside of body I am going to create a div tag, and we will have class mix dash w dash screen dash xl. So this class means mix width 1280 pixels. Now I want to center this div tag. For that I am going to use mx, which means margin left and right, and we will have auto value like so. Now we will have margin top and bottom. So let me add here my, which means margin top and bottom. So let's say dash 20 means 80 pixels. Now inside of this div tag we will have another div tag, and we will have class border dash b, which means border bottom, and we will have padding bottom. So simply p b dash, let's say 5, and inside of this div tag we will have h2 buttons, and h2 will have class capitalize like so, and text dash base, which means font size 16 pixels. And now we will have margin bottom, so let's say 4, and below the heading we will have button title should be primary, and button will have class btn space btn dash primary. So btn will be a common class for each button. Btn will be a common class for each button. Now I am going to copy this button, paste it here. Between these two buttons I am going to add little bit space, and for that I am going to use little bit special HTML code, and that is ampersand NBSP semicolon. So NBSP stands for new break space. Let me save the file, go back to the browser. So as you can see we have little bit space, but I want to increase this space little bit more. So what we need to do, let me copy this code, paste it here, again save the file, go back to the browser. Yeah, exactly fine. Now inside of this button we will have title dark, and class we will have btn dash dark. Now let me copy this button along with this code, paste them here, and now we will have btn dash warning, title should be warning. Let me paste again, and we will have btn dash success, title should be success. Let me paste again, and we will have danger, and title should be danger. Let me paste again, and we will have btn dash purple, title should be purple, and finally paste one more time, and we will have btn dash indigo, title should be indigo like so. save the file, go back to the browser. Yeah, exactly fine. So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video. In this video, we are going to style these buttons through Tailwind CSS. Simply go to main.css and I am going to create btn class. So first of all, I am going to add layer directive components curly braces. So here components means layer directive will inject my classes inside of components layer. Understand? So we will have btn class apply directive, and we will have inline block class. After we will have text should be white and text dash sm font dash medium px dash 5 and py dash 2, and after we will have cursor should be pointer, and finally we will have border dash 0, which means border width 0 pixel. And now we have btn dash primary class. Let me create that class. btn dash primary apply bg dash blue dash 500. Save the file, go to the browser. Yeah, exactly fine. As you can see, we have primary button. Now inside of btn class, I am going to add one more class. Capitalize like so. Go back to the browser. Yeah, fine. Now we have btn dash dark class. Let me create that. Scroll down. btn dash dark apply bg dash black. Save the file. Perfect. And after we have warning. So btn dash warning apply bg dash orange dash 400. Save the file. Cool. Perfect. And after we have success, so scroll down dot btn dash success apply bg dash green dash 600. Save the file. Cool. Perfect. And after we have danger, so btn dash danger apply bg dash red dash 500, and after we have purple and indigo, so btn dash purple apply bg dash purple 500, and finally we have indigo, so btn dash indigo apply bg dash indigo dash 500. Save the file, go back to the browser. Yeah, exactly fine. So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video. In this video, we are going to create rounded buttons. So simply I am going to copy this div tag along with buttons. Let me copy, and first of all I am going to add a comment rounded buttons. Let me paste that code. Now inside of this class I am going to use rounded, which means border radius 4 pixels. Let me save the file, go back to the browser, and as you can see we have primary rounded button. And one thing more, inside of h2 we will have rounded buttons heading, and inside of this class we will have margin top dash 5. Save the file, go back to the browser. Yeah, exactly fine. Now I'm going to copy rounded class, paste it here, 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 and right here. Save the file, go back to the browser, and we have rounded buttons. We have rounded buttons. So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video. In this video, we are going to create shadow buttons. Shadow buttons means below each button we will have box shadow. So simply I am going to copy these buttons, paste them here, and we will have shadow buttons. Inside of heading we will have shadow buttons. The first button we have primary. So inside of this class I am going to create primary dash shadow class. Now let me copy this class, paste it here. We will have dark shadow, and after we have warning, so warning shadow. After we have success, so success shadow, and below that we have danger, so danger shadow. After we have purple, so purple shadow, and finally we have indigo. So simply indigo shadow. Now go to main.css. Let me add a comment, shadow buttons, and the first class we have primary shadow. Let me copy dot primary shadow at the rate apply, and I'm going to add shadow dash lg class. Save the file, go back to the browser. So as you can see below the primary button we have little bit box shadow, but I want to change the shadow color. So what we need to do, let me add here shadow dash. After the dash we can add the color name. So let's say blue dash 500. Now I want to change the color opacity. So what we need to do, let me add here slash, let's say 50. So 50 basically means opacity 0.5. Let me save the file, go back to the browser. Yeah, exactly fine. And after the primary button we have dark. So let me copy this class, paste it here, and dark shadow, and we will have black. Save the file, go back to the browser. Cool, perfect. But instead 50 I'm going to add 40. Save the file, let me check. Yeah, exactly fine. And after that we have warning shadow. So warning shadow at the rate apply shadow dash lg shadow dash orange dash 400 slash. Now you can add 50 or 40. So in my case 40. Save the file. Yeah, perfect. And after we have success, let me copy this thing, paste it here, success shadow, and we will have green. Instead 400 I am going to choose 500. Yeah, fine. After we have danger, so let me add here danger. Instead orange we will have red. Save the file, and instead 400 I am going to choose 500. Go to the browser. Yeah, exactly fine. After we have purple, so purple, and here also purple, but we will have 500. Exactly fine. And finally we have indigo. Here also indigo 500. Exactly fine. And friends, and here also I am going to add 40. Save the file, go back to the browser. Exactly fine. So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. So I will see you in the next video.